Look, macadamia tree, very drought hardy and quite frost hardy out this way, but it doesn't do well because it doesn't get a lot of water in summer, this one. If I watered it, it would grow well. In summer, I mean. We've had water restrictions. They sell grafted ones in Bunnings, actually, so that's handy to know. I might plant one right near the house where it can get extra heat radiated from the house in winter time and also be easy to water. Look, macadamias from Woolworths, grown in Australia. Bush tucker. Macadamias are grown all around the world now. South Africa, California, Hawaii. And they are bush tucker. Chomp, chomp. They're toxic to dogs, apparently. Let's have a look at Wikipedia. They're toxic to dogs. So, if they're toxic to dogs, that means they're likely toxic to dingoes. Our indigenous people, these are bush tucker after all, our indigenous people must have known that they were toxic to dingoes. Toxicity in dogs. Macadamias are toxic to dogs. Ingestion may result in macadamia toxicity marked by weakness and hind limb paralysis with the inability to stand, occurring within 12 hours of ingestion. Depending on the quantity ingested and size of the dog, symptoms may also include muscle tremors, joint pain, and severe abdominal pain. In high doses of toxin, opiate medication may be required for symptom relief until the toxic effects diminish, with full recovery usually within 24 to 48 hours. So, our indigenous people obviously didn't feed macadamia nuts to their pet dingoes, did they? They didn't. And now I'm wondering if they'd be toxic to foxes, because we have all foxes around here. They have foxes in Sydney too, actually. So, foxes are related to dogs, aren't they? Oops. Nearly swallowed that nut. So, don't feed macadamias to dogs. Anyway, you can do a lot with macadamia. They're good vegetarian and vegan food, aren't they? They are. There are 4 species of trees indigenous to Australia. So 3 of them are edible and 1 is toxic. The constituting part of the plant family, Proteaceae, that's why they grow so well in South Africa, isn't it? South Africa was joined to Australia once upon a time. And waratahs are related to proteas. Jump, jump, jump. And Woolworths. There's Woolworths in South Africa too, isn't there? So you can do a lot. You can make vegetarian patties. Well, that's another thing. I've tried putting these through a blender. These are just 100% macadamias. They haven't got any added oil or anything. If you put these macadamias through a blender, Nutri-Ninja thing, they come out all, they're very oily. They're more oily than, say, Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts come out all dry and powdery. But if you put these into a blender, they come out all just like peanut butter. So if you put your macadamias into a blender, they come out like macadamia butter. So that's another thing. You can make them into dumplings or macadamia nut cakes and things. Vegetarian patties. Jump. What more can I say? This tree has never had a macadamia nut on it. It must be how many years old now? Over 30 years old. That's because it's so dry out this way. Macadamias do well on the coast. They come from the coast after all. It's not fair to a tree like this to be in such a thirsty, arid environment. So it's to its credit that it survived. I grew this from a seed. I know for a fact it's quite frost hardy. I had another one, but it was eaten by a borer. A borer drilled a hole in the branch, and then it snapped, and it never really recovered. I'm going to be eaten by mosquitoes in a minute. See you then. Just a little chat about, well, it is bush tucker. If you feel you've never eaten bush tucker, but you've eaten macadamia nuts, you have actually partook. You've eaten bush tucker. See ya.